Praise the Lord and pass the ammunition. This is Terminal Sergeant. All right, so in the last video, we talked about how I had to go see the ENT, right? So there's a guy who specializes in ears, noses, and throats down there in Texas. And actually, they're all over. But anyway, so like, do you want to see him? Well, I've had a sore throat for like the last 3 months. You tell me there's a guy who specializes in the area where I'm having a problem. No, I think I'll just, yeah, god dang it. Of course I want to see him. So they set up an appointment. I go in to see him, and he sticks this camera up my nose and puts it down my throat. And he goes, yeah, have you been having trouble breathing, bud? And I was like, no, do you not read the things that are handed to you? Like the nurse should have told you I'm here because it's hard to swallow, you know? And he goes, well, hang on a minute. And he goes and gets his companion. He goes, come take a look at this. And I'm thinking to myself, either I have the most perfect throat they've ever seen in their life, and things are either so crazily good, or this is the worst thing they've seen, and they have to show it, like they need a second opinion because of how bad it is. So the other guy comes over, he goes, whoa, right? And so the doctor calls out to the receptionist out there, and he goes, hey, whatever your name is, come check this out. She comes in, takes a look at the screen, turns white as a ghost. And I was like, yep, it's bad. And the guy goes, well, he goes, you see that little hole right there? About like that big? And I was like, no. And he goes, that's your airway. It's over 95%, no, 90%, 90 or 95% blocked. And I was like, oh shit, what do we do? And he goes, you're going to surgery, bud. Right? And I was like, okay, so we like schedule that out. Or he's like, no, you're what we call urgent surgical. I'm going to fill out some paperwork. You make the phone calls you need to make, but we're going to surgery like now, like in a couple hours at most. So I was like, well, shit. So it turns out that it is cancer, right? And I'm like, ah, dang it. So what they do is they do uh, super supraglottic laryngectomy and a bilateral dissection, which means they remove the top half of my throat, and then they cut me open like a fucking Pez dispenser and slipped my head back and took out all the lymph nodes in here. So what happens is like these lymph nodes are still going back and the nerves are connecting. And like if I do this, I can feel it up here or up here, and it's ridiculous, you know. So that's what's going on with that. So they did that, and they're like, okay, cool, we got the cancer, great. Then they do another MRI, and they're like, oh well, actually, it turns out your lymph nodes are still cancerous, and we can't remove any more of them. So you've got to do radiation and chemo. So they give me the strongest dose of radiation my body can take, along with the strongest dose of chemo my body can take. And I'm doing this shit called cisplatin. And I had to do that for 6 weeks. Every day I was getting, I was getting radiation. Or no, every 2 weeks I was doing chemo. And with the chemo, like it kept smashing me into a smaller and smaller box, like inside myself. And I wound up losing over 60 pounds. Like I went from 185 down to 126, you know. So it was bad. It was real bad. I was real scrawny. I was white all the time, you know. It didn't make my hair fall out, crazily enough, but it did make it to where, you know, like the radiation made it to where my facial hair wouldn't grow. And I love it because like I never have a neck beard anymore, right? And that's the part of my face I really don't want to have a 5 o'clock shadow for. Even though it's not part of my face, but it's like, you know, if you're in the army, you know that you have to shave every day and you can't have hair down here. It's part of the rules and regulations. I'm retired. I can do what the fuck I want. And I would shave my face all the way, but the girlfriend doesn't like that. She thinks it makes me look like way too young. And there's a thing where you don't, if you've ever been in for long enough, you know, you don't want to look like a boot. You don't want to look brand new, right? That's why you don't shave your head completely and stuff like that, and you never wear issued fucking boots. But if you want to know what it's like to go through chemo and radiation, as myself, and you want to know how that all went down, you're gonna have to watch the next video. And so, if you're interested in that, you want to find out what's going on with that, you're gonna have to hit that like button, and if you want to be guaranteed to see it, hit the subscribe button. And yeah, in the meantime, while you're doing nothing, go scuff yourself.